Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to everyone both here in the sanctuary and at home or wherever you are watching on Zoom or YouTube. My name is Ronnie Greenberg. This is my husband, Norm, and we will be your lay leaders tonight. Rabbi Meir had something unexpected come up and was unable to be here, but he will be back next Friday night. So tonight we will help you celebrate Shabbat. We'll start on page 128, singing in Nigun, and then into Hine Matov. The words are on 128. We'll continue on page 127. Reading together responsively. I'll begin. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We'll continue on page 120 with the blessings for the Shabbat candles, and I invite Doris Gottlieb to come up and do the honor of kindling the Sabbath lights. It's a new lighter stick without a child-proof thing on it. So come over and light them first, and then we'll sing the Hebrew, and then you read English. Okay, I'll hold your book while you light if you want. Go ahead.
I use this way.
Yeah, just pull the thing in.
No.
Oh, there, yeah.
Okay.
No. Okay. Yes, it's child-proof.
It's doors proof.
Oh,
Oh, you
that
have to
can-
push that at the same
You
time.
didn't know that.
Okay. You have to,
Push forward and pull back. There you go.
I can
Play a D.
do two things
D.
at once.
Third string. Notice. How's it go? I forget.
A moment of pleasure. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav Vitzivanu lehadlik ner Vitzivanu lehadlik ner Vitzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat. Amen.
Blessed art you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Thank you, Doris.
Good.
You did good. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, it is childproof.
This is true.
We continue on page 124. Let's read together at the bottom of the page. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. We'll continue on page 138, singing Lachadodi, and we sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to 9, we shall rise and turn and face the door and welcome the Sabbath Queen.
Lechadodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat yikabela Lechadodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat yikabela Lechadodi lekrat kala b'nei Shabbat yikabela Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabela Shamor v'zechor b'dibur echad Ishmi'anu el ha'miyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shemo tifaret v'nitila Lechadodi Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabela Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat mikabela L'tikrat Shabbat lechu v'necha Ki mekor ha'beracha me'erosh מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך תומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלי נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובזכורה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Please remain standing and turn to page 144 for the Hatzi Kaddish. Yitkada v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'amad divrei hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedocho beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvisman kariv, ve'imeru, amen. Yeheshme rabba mivora, leolam olam me'omaya, yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpoar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh, v'yithalal, shemei dekudisha brichu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nehemata, Damiran be'ama ve'imeru, amen. We continue on 146 with the call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
Ya la la,
Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Adonai, Amivorah. Please turn to page 149 and let us read together at the top of the page. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and seasons glide. The sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. We continue on the next page as we read together in English. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושכבך וקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, הייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Adonai Elohim, Amen.
We continue on page 157. Let us read together at the top of the page. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Micha Mocha is on the next page.
Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nehedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot oseh melech, Nora tehilot oseh melech, Malchutecha ra'u vonecha, Adonai Imloch, Adonai Imloch, Le'olam va'ed.
Let's continue on page 160, reading the English translation of the Hashkivenu, and then we will sing it for you. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Nishalom, Nihamidenu Shamreinu, Mechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Nishalom, Nihamidenu Shamreinu, Mechayim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Nishalom, Nihamidenu Shamreinu, Mechayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and shame. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Nishalom, Nihamidenu Shamreinu,
And we shall continue on page 162 with Vishamru. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ve'dorotam b'nei Yisrael, beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. Yum bidi bim bum bye. Shabbos, Shabbos, yum bidi bim bum bye. Shabbos, Shabbos, yum bidi bim bum bye. Shabbos, Shabbos, Shabbat, Shalom. Ki sheshet yamin asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uveyom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafad yom bidi bim bam bye. Shabbos, Shabbos, yom bidi bim bam bye. Shabbos, Shabbos, yom bidi bim bam bye. Shabbos, Shabbos, Shabbat, Shalom, yom bidi bim bam bye. Shabbos, Shabbos, yom bidi bim bam bye. Shabbos, Shabbos, yom bidi bim bam bye. Shabbos, Shabbos, Shabbat, Shalom.
We'll continue on the next page. As we read together at the top, 163, we are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Please rise for the tefillah on the next page, continuing from pages 164 through 170, and then silently.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imateinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sava, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Bezocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevig Ula Livnei B'neihem, Lema'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומחיי אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מהלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לך חיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. Ata kadosh v'shim hakadosh, ukdoshim b'chol yom yehalelu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please continue silently through page 179 and then be seated.
Oh, say shalom, shalom bimramav. Oh, yaseh shalom. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimramav. Oh, yaseh shalom. Oh, yaseh shalom. Oh, yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'hakol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom, shalom b'meramav. Oh, yaseh shalom. Oh, say shalom, shalom b'meramav. Oh, yaseh shalom. Oh, yaseh shalom. Oh, yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ve'imeru amen.
We turn our thoughts now to those in our community who are in need of healing. You'll find the Misha Bera prayer on page 371. We think especially this week of Ruth Bloom, Andrew Bassell, Pircha Bat Bracha, Adolf Breitman, Adrian Breitman, Roberta Butts, Todd Crago, Bonnie Krubaugh, Tony Ficcaro, Monique Lynch, Caitlin Nagel, Debbie Chouet, Gary Smythe, John Tam, Annie Trotter Gurnady, and Sally Trotter. Are there other names you'd like to add to the Misha Bera list, please? Others? Okay, let's join in singing the Misha Bera. We continue now with the counting of the Omer, which you will find on page 570. At the bottom of that page, there is an explanation of what the counting of the Omer is. And I'd like to read that for people at home that don't have a prayer book in front of them, or those of us for whom this is really small printing. So here's what it says about the counting of the Omer. Pesach and Shavuot are respectively the times of harvesting barley and wheat. Torah therefore called for sacrifices of thanksgiving for the 7 weeks in between. The word Omer denoted the measure of grain being offered. The rabbis designed a ritual of counting the days, a practice that has been interpreted as bringing to consciousness our people's movement from slavery to Sinai. The purpose of freedom is not simply freedom from servitude, but freedom to devote ourselves to God's purposes. So, Rabbi Meir always reminds us that you're not supposed to say what the day is before you say the prayer. So, I will read the prayer to you, okay? So, it says, Hayom Shemona ve'esrim yom shechem arba'a la'omer, which means today is the 28th day, which is 4 weeks of the Omer. So we still have 3 weeks to go on the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat haomer. Let us continue now with the Aleinu on page 586, and please rise.
Aleinu l'shavei avadon.
mate gedula leotzer breshit shelo asanu kigoye ha'aratzot velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chelkenu kachem V'goralenu kechol hamonam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlakim hakadosh baruch hu. V'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz vayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You may be seated. Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We remember those in the period of Shana who passed within this past year: Joan Kramer, Paul Schwartz Jr., Carol Friedman, Marvin Crystal, Vicki Sowers, Jennifer Cohen, Dr. Jerry Lesson, Norman Philick Nahum Pincus, Ethel Schnitt, and those whose anniversary of their death, their yahrzeit, is observed this week: Heather Hernan, Lena Namias Cohen, Marion Smith Darcy, Hyman Dicker, Frida M. Dubin, Gabor Fenius, Alexander S. Fiegler, Sylvia Forlander, Joseph Freiberger, Rabbi Samuel Golden, Myron S. Goldman, C.C. Hollingsworth, Selma Kaufman, Sarah Komisarov, Sarah Krakauer, Sarah Kraus, Grace Cooper-Smith, Fanny Lipp, Edwin Mayer, Hyman Mazur, Donald Newschultz, Bernard A. Woolner, Janet Perlman, Harry Purye, Esther Pomerantz, Rebecca Pressman, Deborah Rifkin, Mayor Rosenberg, Samuel Schultz, Esther Schwartz, Rose Soreich, Curtis M. Stein, Lorenz Edward Stillpass, Joseph A. Stumpf, Jerry Sweedler, Pauline Taransky, Emily Weinstein, and Ruth Wertheimer. Are there other names you wish to add to the list? Then let us rise as a congregation for the Kaddish Yotom, the Mourner's Kaddish found on page 598.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach chilutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yamechon uv'chayedechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shlamei Rabbah mivorach, le'olam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'al v'yichamam v'yitnaseh, V'yihadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha v'richu. Le'el b'min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, Da'amiran bi'alma bi'imhu Amen. Yehi shlama min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael bi'imhu Amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael bi'imhu Amen.
You may be seated. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to the temple.
Shabbat shalom.
A few announcements. Welcome to those of you who are here in person and to those of you joining us online. Mahjong has returned. Open play is Monday evenings and Thursday afternoons. So you can see our website for specific times and how to sign up. We are in need of challah bakers. If you are interested, please contact the temple office to learn more. With the recent news that the Supreme Court appears set to overturn Roe v. Wade, the Temple Social Action Committee wants to be involved and engaged. If you have information about a group that you think may be a good connection for us, or if you want to be a part of the help our committee gets involved in, please contact Social Action Chair Rena Black. Please join the Jewish Federation of Fort Wayne's Rosh Chodesh group as we learn about the importance of Jewish cemetery and burial practices. We hope to see you on Sunday, May 15th at 4 p.m. in the Bone Chapel at Lindenwood Cemetery. Thank you to our usher, Mike Rush, to our temple staff and our security team. Please thank the officer as you leave tonight, and to our broadcasters, Samara Sheree and Sam Katinsky. Thank you very much. Okay, we will close now with the Tefillah Haderech on page 649. And then we will adjourn to the lobby where we will have Kiddush and Motzi and enjoy some wine and challah. So now the Tefillah Haderech. Shabbat shalom, everyone.